I made something to help with my disability. Walkers have no spots for kiddos, and strollers have no support for me. So I combined aspects of the two and made my own little walker-stroller conversion. Let me show you how to make one. Supplies. You will need a walker, a strong, preferably water-resistant fabric like denier for both weather and ease of cleanup. Next, you will need nylon webbing, Velcro, snap buckles, a 3-point harness. I just nabbed mine from an old umbrella stroller. And lastly, matching colored thread. Let's talk walkers. You can only use walkers with a stable back bar. If it's a semi-soft and foldable, there are a few adjustments you'll need to make versus using a metal bar. Step 1, measurements. Measure around the backrest plus 3 inches, down to the bottom, towards the seat, and across the seat. Then down to the bottom bar, where you can wrap the fabric around, plus 5 inches. Next, measure across the top bars, plus 3 inches for seam allowance. Step 2. Take the measurements and transfer them to the fabric. Then cut that out. Step 3. Hem your fabric. Step 4. Lay the fabric across the walker, putting a weight down to help get everything into the correct space. I just used my iron. Then you need to adjust so there's a few inches past the back bar. Step 5. Put on the snap buckles. The number of snap buckles you use depends on the type of backrest you have. A metal bar only requires 2. A softer bar requires 3. Cut 2 4-inch pieces of nylon webbing for every single buckle. To stop it from fraying, melt the ends over a contained flame. The reason you have 4 inches of nylon webbing is so that you have room to do what's called a box stitch. A box stitch is, as it sounds, you sew the shape of a box, but then you also add an X through it. Pin the webbing onto the back of the fabric over the bar. That's 2 on the sides and 1 in the middle, or just 2 on the sides if you have a metal bar. Box stitch that onto the fabric. Optional step is to add a piece of webbing and Velcro to the sides for a neater finish. Step 6. Place your child on the walker to get a good idea of where your 3-point harness should be placed. You'll need about 5 inches of webbing for the bottom. For the sides, measure a little less than 2/3 of the way across the chair, plus 4 inches. Sew the bottom strap on. Pay attention to how the side pieces are threaded on your 3-point harness so that you can easily thread them back on. Mine was a simple over-out pattern. To stop your webbing from coming out, fold it down twice and stitch down. This creates a little hem that stops it from moving. Step 7, building the over-the-bar piece. Because of the structure of mine, I had to make 2 pieces that go on either side of the bar. You need to measure, cut, and hem those pieces. Then you stitch them onto the bottom of the project. I ended up needing to fold mine in half to fit the bars better. Step 8, put on the Velcro by measuring it to the placement of the bottom bar area. Then stitch it down. Step 9, anchoring the back. Wrap a piece of webbing around the bottom bar, measuring to make sure that the buckle won't hit the wheel. Then measure out from the bottom of chair to the bar and thread that webbing through a buckle and hem it so it doesn't come out. Stitch the other side of the buckle on. Hand stitch a box stitch onto the webbing going over the bottom bar. Forgot to film this bit, but you will need to box stitch the piece of webbing that goes onto the back of the chair, thus securing it in place and ensuring tantrums are secured in place too. And that's it. I have found this incredibly helpful, but please note that walkers aren't designed to walk with weight on top of them. You have to be extra careful when going over dips and bumps in the road, or else it could topple over. However, I have found that the benefits of being able to walk with my child outweigh the risks of having to be extra careful. I hope you have found this helpful. Stay mobile and stay safe.